Hey guys, let's see what the cards have to say for us today. What do the cards want us to know right now? Okay, we have the Ace of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Wands, Ace of Cups, and this one is the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so Spirit is talking about something maybe a little stagnant for you right now. It may feel like you're at a bit of a dead end or almost like, what am I doing? Some of you guys might be questioning, like, I don't know, leaving something behind in your career or feeling like you're done, feeling like you're kind of at an impasse or whatever you're doing isn't working out for you and there's this feeling of frustration. I feel like Spirit has two messages coming through right off the bat. One is keep yourself open. So don't be like totally blocked off to something new because there is something new coming in. There is a new creativity. There's some new idea. There's some new project or path that Spirit definitely wants to bring through. That's coming through so strongly because we got the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So I feel like there are new opportunities headed your way and you're going to kind of have to keep your eyes peeled because they're not going to come through in the most conventional way. They may be things that you wouldn't have been open to before or things that may seem very different to you. Like, I feel like there is this sense of kind of like, really this? Like being a little confused, being a little bit baffled, kind of like, but I thought I was on this path and I'm working on this path. So what is this? And I feel like Spirit is saying almost like you can do both or don't give up on the old path. It's not to say there's nothing there at all. I feel like with the Seven of Wands, you can still maybe do something with that. And it's not to like abandon it completely, but I really feel like you need to be open because there's some new opportunity that you might actually really like and you might actually really enjoy. With the Three of Pentacles, it may require you to learn a little bit and there may have to be kind of a period where you feel like, oh my God, I'm out of my element. What am I doing? Or what is this new thing that I'm having to learn? Why was I put in this position? Like, I feel like there's this almost frustration because you thought it was going to look a certain way or you were so committed to one path. And now it's like Spirit is pivoting you and being like, no, we're actually going to do this. And I feel like you're a little bit like, huh? Like, what is going on? But just know that the best things happen when they come from a surprise, right? Like for me, when I look back on my life and blessings, it's never come through where I'm like, oh, okay, that's going to lead to that. A leads to B, to C, to D. It's always like something random happens and you're completely shocked and you don't know what you're doing or you don't know what it's going to become and it comes out of the blue. And I feel like that's the case, whether it's talking about people you fall in love with, friendships, career opportunities. A lot of times it's those ones that you weren't expecting that end up being the best and the biggest blessings. So I do feel like there is something new that wants to come in, but you may feel a little out of your depth. You may feel a little bit new and there may be a sense of like, I don't feel as confident here. I don't know the lay of this land as well as I knew what I was doing before. But I actually feel like this is a big blessing and you're going to be very, very happy with this new path. And there may be more financial success coming through. I want to pull some more tarot, but I feel like there's a sense of like, you're going to be very happy with this path, you know, and whatever path you were on, if you're being honest with yourself, there may have been a sense of stagnation or a sense of like, I'm not making as much money as I thought, or I'm not as happy with the progress, or yeah, if I'm totally honest, there were things I would have changed about that. There were things I didn't like about that. And I do feel like it's almost like Spirit has heard your message. And even though you may not be ready for this change, there may be a part of you that's like, no, I'm good here. Spirit is like, no, this is way better. And Spirit is bringing to my mind, I've said this metaphor before, but this time when I stayed in a hotel, I really didn't like that there was a super loud noise at 7 a.m. every morning and it would wake me up from my sleep. So I went down to ask them about it. You can fast forward if you've heard this story, but it's such a good metaphor. So I went to ask like, hey, is there something that can be done about the noise at 7 a.m.? And they were like, I don't think that there is. Let us know, do you want to move rooms? And I was like, no, I'm happy in the room. I really liked that room. I was super happy with the view, everything except the noise at 7 a.m. And they ended up, long story really short, forcing me to move a couple days later. And I was so annoyed. I was like, oh my God, I love this room. I love the view. I love the layout. I have all my stuff laid out. I'm really comfortable here. And all I kept thinking was all these worst case scenarios with the new room. Like, what if there's mold? What if there's, I don't like the view. I'm sure I'm not going to like it. You know, it's on the other side of the building. I bet I'm not going to like that. And it was such a better room. It ended up being like a total upgrade, like floor to ceiling windows on 2 walls. And so it was like a way better view because I could see more. I mean, there was more light. It was really beautiful, no mold. And I was so happy I made that change, right? But in the moment when I was packing, I was not happy. And I think a lot of us fall into that. Like, we get comfortable in our room, in our space, and in general in life, we get comfortable in like what we can expect. Like, even if we hate our job, it's hard to fathom like, wait, I'm not gonna have to wake up at 7 a.m. and sit through traffic. But I kind of like that. But like, and it feels really heartbreaking to have that taken away from us. But that's where we get really stagnant, and we do come to this planet to learn, to grow, to explore, to change. And I feel like Spirit is kind of putting you on a grand, big new adventure. Like, this is going to be a lot more powerful for you. I feel there's a lot of resistance in your energy field towards this change. There's a lot of feelings of like, I can't do this, or I don't want to do this, or this is not for me. And I feel like Spirit is saying, yes, it absolutely is for you. And this is something that you should actually really embrace and let it take you where it needs to lead you, because this is going to make you so much happier at the end. Let me get into some of these cards. What does this person need to know, Spirit? What message do you want to bring forth to them? Okay, so we got letting go of urgency, surrender, freedom of time constraints. So there's that beautiful reminder that really time constraints don't exist to Spirit. So every time we start getting in our head, start panicking as a human about like, but I have to do this by this age, or like, but I should be here, but this isn't going to work out because this needs to be in play. Like, just know that like Spirit does not live by our same rules, right? Spirit has magical ways of making things happen that as a human, it may not occur to us. Like, I really think it's funny because since I do private readings, a question a lot of times Spirit does not love to answer is like the timetables I've found. Like, I can ask so many other questions, but whenever I'm like, okay, so what's the timetable? Either Spirit will give me the timetable up front, but if Spirit does not tell me a specific time immediately, that is a question that it's harder to draw out from them for some reason. And I've always wondered about that. Like, why don't they want to give us timetables? Why can't we know like, oh, it's going to happen in 3 months and 7 days, you know? But I feel like that's because part of the process is trust, and almost like Spirit wants us to see that trust, or Spirit wants them to see that trust from us. And Spirit wants us to really embody that trust. And also I feel like it's just not a concern for them on the other side. Like, they're almost like, hey, it's going to be fine. It's kind of like, you know, you'll hear horror stories from like waiters and waitresses, and they'll talk about like a difficult client they had who like was in a restaurant and like insisted on like, where's my steak? And it had been like 2 minutes, and they're like, bro, it takes a while to cook the steak, like calm down, you know? And they'll be like, oh my God, it was so annoying. They were pulling me over every 3 seconds, asking me about where's my steak? Where's my meal? What's going on? And that maybe is why they don't like answering that question. I mean, I'm just guessing, but I feel like they really love to see trust. And it's also like, they're like, hey, why are you worrying about this? You know you're going to get there. You know you're going to have that level of success. You know that you're going to embody whatever this is. So why would you ever worry? Like, how about having some faith in us, you know? And also with this journey guide, what's coming through with that for you is like, also the journey is part of the process. Like, we learn valuable things along that journey, you know? And if we're not there yet, if we're not at the place of success we want to have yet, that means we still have some things to learn. We still have some things that we have to be changed or influenced by or grow or accumulate. You know, I think it's like, when you think about a writer or an actor or someone. I've heard some like actors talk about how like they feel like it's really important for them to live their life in the meantime, like not be a complete shut-in or not be a complete like one of those celebrities that never leaves the house or just like locks themselves in a hotel room and never goes out. And they said it's really important for them to go out there, get their heart broken, like, you know, have regular experiences, because they're like, that's just a part of being human. And if I don't have that in my art, then I can't even write a good song. And it's so true. I think like we all get informed by our experiences. We all get changed by our experiences, and they're supposed to be happening for us. So right now, whatever you're experiencing, it could be really vital for your development and for your growth. And I feel like you just need to like lean into this and let yourself be influenced by whatever is happening. I feel like this is a really divine time for you. There is a spiritual component. You guys got shamanic healer, cleansing, attunement. So this could be things being cleansed from you as well. And also your eternal spirit. So I feel like this is a period of a lot of growth. And actually, I feel like you're really up leveling, and there's a potential for you achieving things and accomplishing things that like you've never achieved or accomplished before. I feel like you just have to like stop resisting, if that makes sense. Like stop holding on to the past and just welcome in the future, and just welcome in whatever opportunity is meant to come to you. Because again, I feel like all of this is very divinely orchestrated, and it's meant to unfold the way it's unfolding. Let me get into some more tarot though. I really want to get to more tarot for you. Pile number, wait, this is not a pile. This is just a collective reading. So let me get this shuffled really quick. Spirit is telling me to shuffle these cards, so I'm going to shuffle them again. Okay, so what message do we have for the collective, Spirit? What message does the collective need to hear? The Nine of Swords, the Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. I'm telling you, I knew there would be the Ten of Pentacles. That's why I said I feel like there's abundance coming in. I want to pull more tarot. I really feel like there's actually going to be a huge amount of success at the end of this. Six of Pentacles too. So this is a blessing from Spirit. This is definitely a blessing from Spirit. Ace of Swords coming out again. The Three of Cups. The Eight of Wands. Knight of Wands. And the Moon card. So yeah, this is an intuitive journey that you guys are on. You are being taken through this to transform yourself and to really grow and change and learn from this situation. I feel like a lot of you guys are, like I said, you're going to have more money and wealth by the end of this. You are going to, if this is like a career change and you're like, oh my God, like, I don't know what I'm having to do, or I was happy with my old career and I got fired, or, maybe for some of you guys, this could be like a move. I just feel like there's some element of change that you're very resistant to, but at the end, you're going to look back on this and be so glad, especially if this has an element of like higher learning, like this is someone going off to college or someone having to go back to school to get their degree, or they were fired and now they're having to go into a new career path and like learn something new, learn a new skill set. Especially if you guys have this feeling around this change of like, I'm rusty. I don't know what I'm doing. This is really hard for me. I'm not good at this. Like, oh, that is actually such a good sign. That is showing that you are completely on the right path. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. I also feel like with the Three of Cups, there could be a message around seeking out like-minded people, or being more open socially, being more open to like learning and talking to people and growing. Opening up your energy field, that also is going to be important for this journey. I feel like you kind of need to like circulate and put yourself out there and get your name out there, like have people know you, have people know your face and like be able to talk to you. And I feel like you just need to kind of like be a little bit more open. It's almost like some of you guys have been in your shell, or you've been in your safety zone and you've known what to expect, and maybe you weren't even completely happy with it, but you felt safe, you felt comfortable. But this is the time for you to actually leave your shell. This is the time for like the butterfly to get out of the cocoon. And yeah, it's scary, and yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do, and yeah, there may be a part of you that's like panicking inside, but trust me, this is going to be something that later on you're so happy with. I also want to get a message out to someone, or maybe multiple people who need to hear it. about you have a fear of being disliked, or you have a fear that when you show yourself, people are going to be like, what are they doing? Or like, I don't get this, or like they're really bad at their job, and that you're gonna like bomb at whatever this is. You're gonna be so bad. And I feel like you also need to hear this message that you're actually really good at it. You're actually really good at whatever you're doing. And the more you expose yourself, the more you show yourself, the more honest and open and raw you are, the more people are going to gravitate towards you, because you really do have a beautiful soul. This is just general reading, so I'm not going to say a pile. But I feel like some of you guys, you do have a beautiful soul, and so you've had to be protective of it because it has been so soft and kind of like sweet and innocent and pure, and it's been hard for you to go out into the world because you're dealing with other people's energies, and they're not as pure, they're not as kind, and it's been hard for you. So you felt the need to go into your shell to protect yourself. But you need to know that, like, first of all, you are divinely protected. And then second of all, that the more people see of this kind of sweet, beautiful, genuine soul you are, the more they're going to respond to it, and the more success you're going to have. So again, like I said, the more open you can be. I feel like you need to get this message that kind of like you're safe and you're protected now. Your guides are protecting you. Your guides are looking after you. You don't need to be as worried, and you don't need to be as like putting people at guard. Keeping people at arm's length. You're more protected than you may realize. So you can kind of go out into the world and embrace and be yourself. And trust me, I feel like when you do that, you're going to have, like I said, a lot of success. You're going to maybe be blown away by the reaction you get. Like, wow, okay, people really like me. People really actually enjoy me so much. And I'm shocked by that. Like, I'm shocked by how much people like me. Yeah. So I feel like you guys, anyone who felt called to this collective reading, I feel like you guys you're really in this period of metamorphosis. You're going through so many changes right now. And yes, it's scary, but at the same time, you are going to feel so relieved by the time it's over. You're going to be so relieved that you made this shift and this change. And you're going to actually find, I feel like, a sense of purpose, a feeling of life purpose, a feeling of fulfillment. And I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. That's just going to blow your past away. You're going to look back on the past and be like, why was I so afraid to make that change? Like, I wish I'd done it earlier. That was the best thing ever. So yeah, this is a very positive change for you guys. So that is what I have for you, your collective reading for today. I hope it resonates, guys. Of course, if you want to see my other pick a card readings, I have so many to choose from over here on this channel. So feel free to watch all my pick a card readings if this resonated with you. I love hearing from you guys in the comments, by the way, if you want to tell me whether it resonated or not. I always love to hear. If you want to see more of my pick a card readings, you can check out my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. There are over 125 exclusive readings, and then you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So if that sounds good to you, head to my Patreon. The link for that is underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description, and I would love to see you there. Also, if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you're looking for a quick half-hour reading, a full hour-length reading, whether you want it to be a combination reading, you can really choose to make sure your reading is customized for exactly what you want. So if you're interested in that, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm sending you all my love, and I will see you very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye.